Good morning, everyone. We haven't started the record yet. We have started the live stream. This is a morning for arraignments, a couple of show causes, pretty light morning. As I indicated earlier, we're going to continue to be live streaming through the end of this week. Then I'll be on vacation for 2 weeks, and we'll make some decisions about what happens after that. This morning we have some arraignments, some show causes, some probation violations, and then some sentences at 11 o'clock. Busy morning, and then a number of things this afternoon. We're in the process of bringing people in right now. Some of the other judges are on vacation. I think this would be a good time to be on vacation. Good morning, booking office. Judge Middleton calling. Could I see Audra Sweet here at my court? All right, thanks. Bye. Maybe even the losers get lucky sometimes. We have one person in the jail, one person was supposed to be here yesterday, and his girlfriend saw on YouTube that he didn't show up, told him to call in. Supposedly he's going to be here this morning. Good morning, TJ.
Morning.
Not a lot of cases this morning. I'm going to start bringing these people in. I've got Ivan Montoya Hernandez. He's logging in. I've got Nathaniel Raymer. He's in the waiting room. And I've got someone named Aaron Blair who, I'm not sure who this is. It might be JP Lewis. Yes, it is. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Judge Middleton. It is 8:17. It's time to start our arraignments. I think I know most of you. Mr. Lewis, can you unmute your phone?
Am I still muted, Judge?
No, I can hear you now. Audra, can you hear me?
Yep.
I can.
Okay, you're all here for an arraignment. The arraignment is the process where the judge tells you what you're charged with and asks you how you wish to plead to the charge. Audra, we're going to start with you because you're in custody there at the jail. You got some other issues going on, but this is a misdemeanor charge. It's contained in file 211337. Audra, you got charged under Sturgis ordinance with retail fraud on June 26th. Mr. Reed, she's been in jail now for 11 days and she has some other charges pending. Would there be an offer of time served?
Yes, Your Honor.
Audra, Timothy Reed is the Sturgis city attorney. They charged this under city ordinance. The allegation is that on that day where was this? Let me pull it up.
I can pull it up. I got two different.
It was Walmart for $89.
All right. He's recommending if you plead to this charge that I would do a sentence of time served, which would be 11 days, concurrent with your
I'm
other.
ready to plead.
I'm sorry, Andrew, what'd you say?
I said I'm ready to plead guilty.
All right. Let me ask you a couple of questions. I've known you for a long time, but let me tell you and Mr. Lewis and Nathaniel and Yvonne that if you plead to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury. All you got to do, Audra, is ask me, and I'll appoint an attorney to represent you.
I don't need it.
All right. If you had a trial, you have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand yourself and testify on your own behalf. You'd also have a right not to testify, and if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury cannot hold your silence against you. And you'd have the right to be presumed innocent if and until the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So other than this plea agreement of a recommendation of time served, did anybody promise you anything to get you to plead to this?
No.
Threaten you?
No.
Were you in the Walmart store on June 26th?
I was, but I believe the citation's from May 29th.
Well, let me take a look.
It was my brother's funeral, and my car didn't work. I just left.
No, this says June 26th. Yeah, Rick died. I'm sorry about that. I haven't seen you since that transpired. As you know, I knew Rick when he was a kid. He was a stand-up. He was a stand-up kid. Yeah, he struggled too, but
he wasn't in trouble. He didn't get in trouble.
No, he was a nice kid. He had to testify
Thank
when he was 15. All right, what did you take, Audra?
I took some clothes. My car didn't work. It was on May 29th. It was the day of my brother's funeral. I was running late. I had $80 on my Green Dot card. I swiped a Green Dot card, which was an old card, and it didn't work, and I just walked out of Walmart with all my stuff. It was a really bad day. I lost my keys.
We do have two cases, Judge. She does have one from the 20, and there's also one.
Oh, let's see here. The only one that's on here for today is the 26th.
Okay,
Yeah, she has another one. It's set
from
for
May 29th.
On July 29th, and she also has a civil infraction.
Okay.
I thought that's what this is. It's a civil infraction.
No, this is the one on the 26th.
Of June?
The other one's set for the 29th. We'll just leave it on there.
Okay.
All right, Audra, I'm waiving the fine. $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50, state minimum fee, $125, or 2 additional days. You got a pre-exam conference or something coming up on that auto theft, July 13th. So I'm gonna make it concurrent with that.
I got trial too. I got trial coming up too for the 2019 case.
All right. Well, I'd like to see you get everything resolved. I've seen you up and down, and I've seen you about as down gets. You were out in Arizona, and then you were floating around, and now you're still struggling. But this takes care of this matter. We got some other things we still need to deal with, but 11 days, credit 11 days, and the minimum fine. I'll be seeing you, or someone will see you next Tuesday on that other case. And
thank you, sir.
Okay, Audra, I'll see you. You're good to
I
go.
love you, Cuzzo. I love you, JP.
Love you, Artie.
Well, JP, you missed meet some friends in court. You were supposed to be here yesterday. I tried to call your lazy butt and wake you up, but I couldn't get through to you. And apparently your girlfriend saw it and told you to get in here. You haven't been tracking real straight.
I've been doing a lot better though, Judge. That's definitely one thing.
All right, well, that's good to know. Let's talk about that here in a minute. But I'm going to take care of Mr. Reed's ordinance cases, and then we'll come to yours.
All right.
Mr. Raymer, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good, Your Honor. How are you?
Good. You and I got a long history. We spent a lot of time working on things and didn't ultimately work out. But how are you doing? Are you working someplace?
Yeah, I work at Basin. I'm a painter here in Sturgis.
Okay. You got a ticket under Sturgis City Ordinance for driving suspended, file 211388OT. You also got a ticket for speeding, 85 and a 55. And I tell people if they're suspended, don't go 85 miles an hour and wear your seatbelt. That's like an invitation to get pulled over. You're suspended because you have a huge amount of baggage on your driving record. They say that this happened on June 30th. Mr. Raymer, you do have a right to have an attorney on this if you wish. In fact, the Chief Public Defender, Keith Stickley, has joined our feed. Let's take a look at this ticket. It happened about 8 o'clock at night.
Yes, sir.
On June 30th, Bojan Road. You're going 85 miles an hour on Bojan Road?
I was on
101.
I was on Centerville, and I believe that 101 was the car that was in front of me.
Mr. Raymer, maybe we should not give any statements here and see what we can do.
That's Mr. Stickley. Well, that's even worse if you're going 101 on Centerville. Either way, not a good plan. Mr. Reed, is there any sort of offer here?
We would just to the driving suspended.
All right, they would dismiss the
city's position is going to be, I mean, even if you hit him with the fine and the points, it doesn't, I mean, his license is what it is. It's in pretty bad shape. So we're not looking to tack additional 4 points on.
All right, they would dismiss the speeding ticket, which would save you 4 points and $160, which is better than a poke in the eye. They would then offer the plea to the city ordinance version of driving suspended. Driving suspended is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. It carries 2 points on your driving record, which is already suspended, and would require suspension of your license. Now, Mr. Stickley is here, the Chief Public Defender, and he's the one that spoke up on your behalf here. Your options are to plead to this driving suspended charge and have the other one dismissed, or plead not guilty have the matter set for further proceedings, including a trial if you wish. What do you wish to do, Mr. Reamer?
I mean, I did it, Your Honor, so I plead to the driving unsuspended. Plead guilty.
Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this?
No, sir.
Or promise you anything other than dismiss the other charge?
No, sir.
What were you doing?
There had been a car that had cut me off, and I was going after them. I was honestly going to get their license plate to turn them in because they were driving crazy, and I ended up driving crazy to try to catch them.
That's just dumb, because you weren't even supposed to be driving in the first place. You had 3 or 4 drunk driving charges. We made a big try at sobriety court, and you aren't supposed to be driving a damn car in the first place. So you're not going to go report someone that was driving bad and say, hey, by the way, I was driving on my suspended license, and this guy was even more of a jerk than I was. Where were you going?
I was going to McDonald's for supper because I just got out of work, and they cut me off right up there through by where Kmart used to be, or Dunham's now, and TSC.
Nathaniel, you're in a bad place. Road rage over something meaningless and dumb like this. That's a terrible place to be going 85 or 101. Just crazy. And it sounds like you're just driving to work every day. Whose car are you driving?
I was driving my truck. I had no other options at the time, and I have currently found somebody at work that has been giving me a ride since.
How do you even have a truck? You can't plate it or insure it.
I guess I got lucky.
Oh boy.
And he had 3 kids in the vehicle with him.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yee. You're in a bad spot.
I have, anything to my defense, I have been sober for years now. There was none of that involved.
Well, that's good to know. You and I had a lot of heavy conversations, and I don't want to get too much into your business here on the YouTube feed, but you were struggling, and I thought you fought a good fight. Your problem wasn't alcohol, it was prescription stuff. But I'm very pleased to hear that you're sober still.
Yep.
I invested a lot of time in you, and I'm happy to hear it. All right. Driving suspended under ordinance 5.62A. All right, I'm going to do the minimum fine, $75 and $50, $125. I gave you 30 days to August 6th. And 2 days in jail for driving suspended, driving like a crazy person with 3 kids in the car, driving a truck with no insurance and probably no plates and no business driving in the first place.
It wasn't.
You want to do it this weekend or next weekend?
Can I do it next weekend?
Yeah, we'll start at Friday, July 16th, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
We'll send you that. Are you still at the Long Lake Road address?
Yes, sir.
Hopefully you'll get a ride to work. I know it's a struggle to not have a license. I tried to get you a license, but the wheels fell off. So I'm very pleased to hear you're not drinking, though. That's something for you and your kids. But you got to figure out what's going on, why you would even do a thing like this out of anger. You weren't going to turn him in. I don't know what you were going to do.
Yeah, I was really going to.
All right. Well, you're good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next Friday. Okay. All right, Yvonne Montoya.
Yep.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Are you Yvonne Hernandez Montoya?
Yes, sir.
You also got a ticket in Sturgis for driving without a valid operator's license. That's a very common offense. It's a misdemeanor. Sometimes we call it no ops. It's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $100. It does carry 2 points. Normal fine for this is $200. They say that it happened in Sturgis on June 30th.
Yep.
Yes?
Yeah.
How do you plead to that?
Oh, guilty.
Well,
All
Yvonne,
right, well, you
I
guys-
have a question for Yvonne. Can you get it was a temporary instructor's permit that was expired, Your Honor. So this is the officer wrote him for no valid, I mean, which is accurate. However, the city would be willing to work out a deal with Mr. Hernandez or Montoya if he were able to obtain his permit back and get a valid, even if it's a temporary instructor's permit.
All right, Mr. Montoya, a lot of kids in Sturgis have got, I call them DREAM Act problems. They're here, they've lived here all their life. They went to Sturgis public schools, but they were brought here as children and they don't have residency status. You don't have that problem, do you?
No.
Okay, very good. So you had a temporary permit and expired. Have you done anything to get it renewed?
Not really, but I took my driver's test already. I just have to go to Secretary of State and get the picture license, you know? I only have a certificate saying that I passed the driver's test.
All right. Mr. Reed, the city attorney, if you get this ticket, you're going to get jammed up. You won't be able to get your license. So he's proposing that we adjourn this about a month and see if you can get your license. If you do that, he can amend this to a charge that won't cause you to lose your license. Okay?
Yeah.
Is that agreeable with you?
Yeah. That'll.
Do you have an appointment with the Secretary of State?
No, not yet. I haven't made one
All right,
yet.
you need to make a next day appointment.
Yeah, those are pretty hard to find.
Well, let me tell you what I did. I had to get my license renewed at my last birthday, and I had to go in because I guess I'm elderly. I don't know. I did pass my eye test. I was very proud of myself. I don't need to wear glasses to drive. But anyway, I kept trying to get a next day appointment. I would put it right at 9 and it would kick me out. There's slots from, I think, 9 to 11 and 1 to 3. So you go in the first thing in the morning and you log on and you try to get a next day appointment. Don't go in at 9 o'clock. Try to get a 10:30 appointment or something, and you'll have more success getting a next day appointment. So don't go for the very first slot. Okay. Log in, I believe it's right at 8 a.m. You log into the Secretary of State site, you go to the Sturgis Secretary of State's office, and then go for one of the later slots. I'm going to adjourn this for a month, Yvonne, for when I get back from my vacation. I'm going to set this for Wednesday, August 4th for a pretrial.
Sounds good.
All right, for Wednesday, August 4th at 8:30. That's a generous offer from Mr. Reed, because otherwise you're going to get all jammed up and you're going to be 21 before you can get your driver's license. So we will see what you can do in the meantime. And if you get a license, he can amend this to a charge that won't show up on your driving record. So I'll send you a new notice. Are you still at 407 North Prospect?
Yep. Correct, yeah.
Are you working somewhere?
Yeah, I'm still working at Jayco.
Okay. How you getting back and forth to work?
I work with my cousin, so he gives me a ride.
All right. Well, get your license. You can drive wherever you want. So, yeah. All right. I will see you on August 4th. I'll send you a notice.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, TJ, I think that finishes your obligations with me for this morning.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I thank you. All right, let me release Mr. Montoya. And Mr. Lewis is having his Lucky Charms in his car there. Jay,
They're magically delicious, Judge.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole. All right, let's talk about your deal here. You got charged with retail fraud on May 17th, retail fraud in the 3rd degree. Let's take a look at it. The Chief Public Defender, Mr. Stickley, is still here with us. Oh, this isn't even on my chart because you weren't supposed to be here. You were supposed to be here yesterday. Retail fraud is a misdemeanor. Let me find this, John.
Judge, can I trouble you for a case number?
I'll give it to you here. It's 211028SM. Let's take a look. I would much rather just arraign you like this than have to issue a bench warrant. So whoever told you to log in, I guess did you a favor. The allegation is that you were a family farm and home and you just stole property that was worth less than $200. They say it's $137.80. The affidavit says they got there and you were attempting to flee. They detained you, take items out of the store, $137.80. Doesn't say what the stuff was.
Your Honor, I had one T-shirt.
Okay, well.
Hang on.
Okay, well, I don't know what the deal is, but you have a right to plead not guilty to this. And if you want me to appoint an attorney to assist you with this, I will. Or you can simply admit it and waive your right to have an attorney. What's the status of your meth case? Is that done? Or is it bound over to circuit court?
After I'm done with you here, I got to go and see Judge Stutzman for the first time, for a status conference.
Okay, so you got a pending felony case. Who's your attorney in that case? I forgot.
Christine Yancey.
All right. What do you want to do about this retail fraud from May? If you want, I'll appoint an attorney for you.
I would advise that, sir.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got video of this. Where are you staying? Just a minute. Somebody driving?
Yes, I'm in motion on the road as we speak.
Well, I don't like that. It makes me dizzy. All right.
I'm gonna pull over. I'm about to pull over.
Judge Pattison and the other judges, and I guess I agree, bemoan the fact that how not seriously people take Zoom court. You don't show up on the day you're supposed to. Somebody calls you to tell you to come in. You're driving in your car. You're eating Lucky Charms. It's like this is just an annoying nuisance as opposed to an important piece of legal business where you could go to jail for 93 days. So it's diminished the process. As I said, I didn't want to do a bench warrant for you because I knew you hadn't really gone anywhere. I knew you just weren't taking care of business. This also is occurring while you're on a felony bond. One of the conditions of your bond is you're not to violate any law of any unit of government, so it could result in a violation of your circuit court bond. But at this point, you haven't been convicted of anything. That's probably why Mr. Stickley's advice to plead not guilty is good. Because if you plead guilty to this, it violates your bond. They don't have to prove anything. They can just revoke your bond. Where are you staying?
I don't really have a permanent address as we speak.
I know, that's what I was concerned about. The number I called didn't want anything to do with it. I called 6289 and I don't know where I got that number. So
Yeah,
where do I send your notice to?
You can send it to Mom's address.
All right, I'll send it to Stolt Road. John, frankly, I'm worried about you. You're floating like a cork. You don't have a job. You're kind of bouncing around. You're just in a situation where you're going to get in more trouble. This thing, I don't know. People, I can't tell what you took. This is the kind of stuff people steal to sell, to buy drugs, as opposed to stealing food or liquor or that sort of thing. So I don't know what's going on, but I am concerned about you. Maybe something could happen in your circuit court case. Maybe they're looking at adult drug treatment court or something. But I will set an attorney pretrial for August 6th, 21 at 9 a.m. And I think I will appoint the Yancey office. That is your circuit court attorney. Do I have a number to call you?
Yeah. I don't know if you have the right one, but I can update it right now.
All right, what is it?
269-535-7635.
All right, I didn't really put that out on the live feed, but I don't want to lose you, and you don't have an email. All right.
Can you give me that date for that
That'll be August 6th. That's a Friday, first Friday in August.
Okay.
At 9 a.m.
At 9 a.m. And then Nancy's going to be my lawyer for that one as well.
Yeah, she doesn't know it yet. She probably won't be too thrilled about it, but she does a very nice job in representing her clients. And this may be a way to work out some sort of global resolution. I'll send an email to the parties here after we're done. All right, I'm glad I didn't have to do a bench warrant for you. Better to show up a day late than not at all. And you go to your circuit court case and deal with that. And I'll give you some advice. Don't eat Fruit Loops or Lucky Charms or drive your car during your circuit court hearing. Judge Stutzman won't be very happy about it. So get situated in one spot before you call in.
All right. Did you say there was or there was not a bench warrant for me?
There is not, now that you called in.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You're good to go.
Thank you.
This is an absurd observation here, but one of the reasons why I kept my hair growing is to be less judgmental about people like that have face tattoos or jewelry or gauges or purple hair. It's their own damn business, and if they want to have a tattoo on their head, I guess that's up to them. And so this is a humbling experience that makes me more tolerant of the people I see. Anyway, Keith, let's do a couple of show causes. I'm glad Mr. Lewis logged in. We got Stanley Ray Myers II in order to show cause on a no valid ops. We tried several times to get him in here. He didn't show up for a show cause. So I guess we're going to do a bench warrant for him. That's file 21965. I think Mr. Lewis was ready to plead to that retail fraud, but in light of the pending felony case, it probably was the wisest thing to not.
Nope. And I'd like to ask you maybe off the live stream procedurally about something like that and the appointment of attorneys as well.
Well, theoretically, I'm not supposed to do what I did. The attorneys are just supposed to get appointed at random. But if I have one attorney maybe they can package things. and-
Well, that's kind of where I was going, but at the same time, it totally makes sense. It kind of is confusing to me how sometimes misdemeanor cases get split apart, or a single defendant might have up to 3 different attorneys I've seen,
Well, that's
depending on the
maybe
cases.
a flaw in the way it's done, but it's supposed to be done at random. People really can't, they say, I want so-and-so as my lawyer. I don't want
Right.
so-and-so.
Sure.
Regarding Mr. Myers, I'm going to do a bench warrant. Hold 48 hours. $250 cash assured. Maybe somebody will see the live feed and tell them to get in here. All right, so our next matters up are probation violation hearings at 9:30. That's not a very busy Wednesday arraignment. The Sturgis days are usually pretty busy. What's this guy? I have a failed to appear, Michael Payton, trespass. He's a homeless guy in Sturgis. He keeps going to the same property and they keep kicking him out. And he's not here, which is not really much of a surprise. But I have to do an order to show cause. I don't know how you do an order to show cause on a homeless person, but that's 211336 OT. Do order to show cause first. All right, that finishes our arraignment portion of the docket. We'll log back. I guess you don't need to be here at 9:30, but that's what we got next. So I'll stop the live feed and we'll be back at 9:30. All right, thanks for your help.
Yep.